Don't you just love it when good people send you nice things? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ray here, back for another Transformers Transformation Review thingy. Big thank you to Buster Brenton, Brentasaur, the Brentmeister. I like Pearl so much, I got Blue Streak, and then I like Blue Streak so much that I wanted to explore the other iterations, and this was the only other one that existed, but I couldn't get my hands on him, and then I kind of forgot about him, and all of a sudden, Brentmeister from out of the blue said, "Do you want a Prezi?" And he sent me this. Look at this fucker. This is, of course, Streetwise. He's called Streetwise. They just couldn't call him Streetwise. Absolutely gorgeous in G2 colors. The unreleased. This is the unreleased version. Of course, when I say unreleased, I mean that the G2 version of this in this livery was unreleased. But this is the Generations universe thing. He's lovely. I tell you where he sits. He sits. Oh God, where am I? Right, let me try this one more time. There's Clench, and he stands there beside Clench in front of Buck on Air Razor. That's a nice thing. Thank you so much. I am putting together a little package for you. Unfortunately, this won't be in it. So, I've only got one of those. So, sorry. Galvatron. 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 The awesomest Galvatron in existence. Shame. Galvatron. Armada Galvatron, entirely successful, entirely sexy. There's a great story with this guy. Maybe it's only of interest to me. Picture it. Auto Assembly 2011. Sicily, 1984. Now, Auto Assembly 2011, I was down to my last 15 quid or something like that. And, you have to bring a lot of money to Auto Assembly. You start saving now, ladies and gentlemen. You do. I have just about. And, I was down to my last, 15 quid, and I'm pretty sure it was 15 quid, and I was just having the last minute peruse, and I walked past a stand that I had walked past about 100 times previously, and seen Armada Galvatron. Oh, I'd like that. It's going to be silly price. Sticker. How much is that thing, Iron Mrs.? And she got the little card and put it on top and it said 15. Yes, please, I'll have that. £15, mint and sealed box for this chap. I have the box, I've kept the box and his little comic and all the other things. I think I've even kept his twisty ties because I love my Galvatrons. There are a few more, I don't have them all. I do want the others. There's an Energon Galvatron, there's a Cybertron Galvatron. I should be getting one of those this year. I haven't forgotten that chap who said he would give it to me if I sang him a song. That sounds rude. You know what I mean? So, let's have a look at this Galvatron. I am also going to attach, for your viewing pleasure, that's me banging my clench. I'm going to attach Tidal Wave, Armada Tidal Wave, for your viewing pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, because that's the kind of guy I am, and that's the kind of mood I'm in. Interesting housekeeping. Not going to tell you anything just yet. Look at this guy. He's just lovely. He's a tank. He's a big tank. I'm sorry, Brent. He's a big tank. He's not a big green tank. Wouldn't it be great if there was a G2 Megatron reissue? You know, that big green chap that you like so much. He normally sits. Where does he sit? He normally sits there. Well, he sits up there on my Megatron shelf. You can't see. There's my Megatron shelf. He sits up there. Okay, there are some Megatrons there. They're not all there. A lot of them are over in the cabinet. The cabinet. Dr. Caligari. So, anyway, I'm rambling, but I don't care. This is a lovely guy. Go and see Buster Brenton stuff, because he's so fucking funny, and he's got some really tasty bots. And the guy made me laugh today, and he said hello to everybody in the universe. That's nice. Little clench there. So, this guy has gimmicks. Some of them are a little annoying, but most of them are like, wow, and he does this, and he also does this, and what is that? Nobody knows what that is, but he does it anyway. Now, let me see. He does this. An awful lot of noise, an awful lot of talking there. That's not the voice of Galvatron. It's not. It's a and other. Now here's a tank. Is he some sort of tank? Maybe he's some sort of tank. Do you know? I don't think. Do these tanks exist? It reminds me of Shockwave from Animated. He's that kind of tank. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care if they exist. It's just nice. It's a nice looking tank. I like tanks. I always like tanks. This guy is a good tank. Now I'm going to just get the additional. Oh, I have to show you that this little gimmick will fire. Speaking of this chap here, there's a little bit of gold plastic. Heads up, Mr. B, Mr. Brenton. You can see here that there is gold plastic. There is also gold plastic here, and there is gold plastic here. Having just watched your snarl, and I feeling genuinely sorry for the fact that your Beast Machine snarl has all but disintegrated, and indeed it will, because that's the way it goes. This is a word of advice from me, I mean, what do I know? But a little bit of, for you people who are concerned about GPS, gold plastic syndrome, of course. Buy the Beast Machine snarl, mint unsealed card. This is what I said to Buster. Don't open it. Do not open it. But get yourself a Universe snarl and have a good old time with that instead. Because it's not going to fall apart like that other fucker is. It also happened to me. Way back when. Now look at this chap. Let's look at the weird and wonderful gimmicks. First of all, we'll take his little Minicon Clench. Lovely little thing. We'll attach him here. What happens? You get this shit going on. Yeah, he makes an awful lot of noise. We'll do that again. You see, you pull him back, and you can lock it in position by moving him over. So you take him off, take off little clench, and there he is. This thing is locked. And of course they fire. Yes, they do, they fire. I don't want that to happen. Not know how. Now, there is another little sound clip which happens when you pull back here like this. The missile will fire and you'll get this. Missile firing sound. Nice. Nice little solid missile. Interesting detail on it. Asymmetrical. Put it back in. Don't want that to come out ever. You do not want to lose that. Now look at the other little things. He's got this odd little Minicon port here. This odd little thing. I don't even know what it is. He's got that anyway. So you can put a Minicon there. Shall we put a Minicon there? Let's put Clench there. Just for the crack. There you go. How good does that look? Not very good, but there you go. He does that. That's one of the things that he does. He also has this odd little gimmick here, little switch here, and he's got that. And he's got that. What is that exactly? They are more Minicon ports. The problem is that, you know, you put so many Minicons on this guy. And again, I hate Transformers bots that have cars stuck to them and planes stuck to them. I can understand you putting the weapon mode Minicons on there, but you're going to limit the movement of the turret. It's not going to go very far. So, there's that. Okay, it's whatever it is, really. He's full of very, very odd things. Another odd thing. He's got this other odd thing. Look at this. You open that out. It reminds me a bit of Metroplex or something Power Master Prime does. That opens out like that, and then you put this odd little... He's got a lilac lever. You put the little lilac lever forward, and he's got this little hand that comes out. So presumably what's meant to happen is the Minicon's going to go, hey, I see, that's a lovely tank. I'm going for a little cruise along it. And he gets to here, and then you pull that, and he pulls, the Minicon get pulled in, and presumably he's trapped, or something like that. Why not? Another little gimmick, as if that wasn't enough. This guy is full of freaking gimmicks. You pull this shit out here, you see, pull it all the way out like that, and then this is a kind of a Venus flytrap for your Commoner Garden. I say your Commoner Garden Minicon, you won't actually get your Commoner Garden Minicon in there. You will get Micromasters in there, but you won't get, I mean, I've tried to get Clench in there, and he's just kind of too big for it. But why not? Why the hell not? He's also got these nice big num-num pincers, which will move quite nicely, thank you very much. He's a nice big thing. What do we see underneath? Something that looks a bit like he's in the middle of childbirth, but that's fine. Let's transform him, because we get to the good stuff right here, right now. Because he's full of gimmicks. You've probably got this guy. You've probably got, when I say... He does that a lot. He does it too much, I would have to say. You've probably got Armada Megatron at least. I've also got Megatron. He's sitting up there. I like to keep this guy attached. I like to keep, rather, the Armada tidal wave attached to him. I just think they look good together. They do look good together. His arms are in here. One of them is proving a little tricky to get out. Nice. Good sound there. It's nice. It's just a nice sound. I've taken my nice permanent marker to there and I've given him a little bit of this and that. Last thing, we give him a little bit of this crack here in the Megatron styly. Money shot. Bada bing. There we go. Galvatron. I love my Galvatrons. This is a nice Galvatron. He is a sexy Galvatron. Take little clench here. You can attach him to this thing like that, and you can give him little shoulder cannons. As if he wasn't armed enough, this guy. As if he wasn't armed enough. I just love this toy. I think he's fantastic. He has indeed gimmicks in this mode, and I will show you them now. Let's have a look at his face first of all. Nice. I like that. This shit here is absolutely fantastic. I love this. Quite often when you get them secondhand, these are missing. They've fallen off. Someone has swallowed them. Nice bit of... That's the best ratchet joint ever. So heavy. Really clicky. Very, very nice. What was I doing? Yes, I was showing the other little gimmick. We'll take off a little clench. You don't actually need to attach the minicons a lot of times in order to get these little gimmicks to work. You see there's a little minicon port here, and when you attach and push forward, he all of a sudden has a little edged weapon. You see it comes in his hand like that. That's cool. I'll just take off a little clench because you don't need clench in there in order to do that. Just push it forward and we get that. You see, that's a cool little thing. And now, the fantastic fun thing that you can do with this guy in Tidal Wave. It's so good. Look at this. What's happening here? Who knows? My word, what's going on here? What the hell is going on? Look, you take this and you move it all the way forward like that. He makes a lot of noise and he just won't shut up for love nor money. We're going to reattach this like that. Pull this shit forward like that. I don't want these missiles to fire. Now there is a little gimmick we can do here. An interesting little gimmick. So you can have this thing facing forward like that. At the side there's this very, very odd little lever. It's interesting. Sometimes you get these gimmicks and bots and they have like some kind of little mechanism that moves them. You have to either depress a button or you have to move a little lever, but quite often it's the lever or the button are completely redundant and you're better off just moving it by hand anyway. This guy is the case. So whenever you turn this now, it doesn't look like it's going to actually happen here. But what happens? Come on, it'd be nice now. It'd be nice for the ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it wants to do it here like that. Ah, there we go. There's some kind of action when I turn this little lever. You see, it's makes next to no difference. You really are better just moving it by hand if you want to do that at all. Yeah, there isn't an awful lot of movement there. It should turn, and maybe I just haven't completely connected a ratchet joint inside. No, he's probably just a little old, and that's the way it goes. Doesn't matter. No, he doesn't shut up. Listen to this fucker. That's it. Right, Tidal Wave. Now I have two Tidal Waves. I have Energon Tidal Wave and Armada Tidal Wave. I prefer Energon Tidal Wave. He's a little sexier. But what we can do, this guy is kind of more correct to attach this Tidal Wave. This is of course the Dark Fleet, which is the uncombined version of either of the Tidal Waves, Energon or Armada. And of course, Energon Tidal Wave and Armada Tidal Wave will both attach to this guy, but it's probably more correct. He won't shut up, this guy. That's a fucking pain in the ass when he does that. You pull up the torso like that and exposes a giant big clicky beam thing, and you stick this bad boy in and it will click, and it stays really rather well when it does go in. I think that's it. Oh, it didn't make a big click, did it? There we go. Listen to that shit there. It won't shut up. So this becomes like a jetpack. Yes, and why not? And then we take another bit of Dark Fleet. I love that, Dark Fleet. Open up these little sections at either side. And you see they are going to attach to Galvatron's arm. They're going to go around. That's where the minicon port, that's where that minicon port is going to go, like this. and I'm just going to do it off camera because it's much easier. This guy is so top heavy now that he actually doesn't like to stand particularly well. Look, he's becoming huge and ridiculous and very comedic, and I'm okay with that. And another little part of Dark Fleet, there's a little ramjet there. We'll just leave him on for the minute. And we do this. So there's another attachment there for his next arm. And there is a place, I believe, also for the mini-com port on that arm. And does that slide on, or it clips over? That's what it does. It clips over. Let me just do that. Really, do you know the way you can sometimes, you often get a transformer like Scorponok, the Armada, oh no, the Energon Scorponok, who's that? The Energon Scorponok, or the Cybertron Dark Scorponok. They have this thing where they just don't shut up and they're constantly making noise. This guy is similar. You just have to look at him wrong and he's going to start screaming in your ear. And it's not even someone you want screaming. It's not someone sexy like Frank Welker or anything like that. It's some fucker some out of work actor who never had a proper job in his life. It's a terrible thing to say. Forgive me. But look at this guy. He's huge. Both his arms are now connected. You can't do anything with his arms. You can't pose this guy at all. These aren't going to go anywhere except flop like that. You've still got that thing on him which will not shut up. But hey, it's better that he makes noise than he doesn't. And you've got this shit on his back, which means presumably he can fly. I tell you what, I'm having a job holding this guy up, and there's no way this guy is going to become airborne. He is about as aerodynamic as a house brick. And do you hear? He's up. You might want to take the batteries out. Not content with saying the power is mine or making one noise, he says the power is mine and then makes 3 different firing noises. And he does it, you know, he does it when you don't want them to. There you go. Shut up! Just shut up. Is this little turret going to turn? This turret's not going to turn. Hey, nothing's going to get in the way of this shit. Absolutely huge. Completely and utterly ridiculous. But absolutely wonderful for it. Unbelievably, he will stand. Unbelievably, this guy will stand. Believably, he won't pose. That's what he looks like. He looks like a mess. But he looks fantastic. As long as you've got an Armada Megatron and you've got maybe an Energon Tidal Wave as well to take the bad look. And for a bit of context, now let's add a little bit of icing to this cake. We'll take little Clench here. He is of course a repaint of Leader 1, Armada Megatron's Leader 1, who is of course a GoBot. Not nice, isn't it? Tiniest, most simple of transformations. This is a minicon that I like. This is a minicon that I certainly want. It's a minicons I can take or leave, but I do like how this guy looks because he is just, he's got a sweet little transformation. And of course we can take him, we can get effect a gun mode, a weapon mode. Why not? It's as good as anything else out there. And we can attach him here. So the guy has more guns than he needs ultimately, but he is a Galvatron, so he may as well have plenty of them. Fantastic, heavy, my arm sore, doesn't pose, looks wonderful and ridiculous. Good night.
Now that's what I call a robot in disguise. Thank you very much.